What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first official music and conversation presented by OneOne Vinyl. My guest here actually asked, queried the name. Could it not be, what did you say?
Well,
Music and
I thought it,
records and
initially I thought it would be befitting to call it records and chill.
records and chill. Or
Um,
records and conversations.
Records and conversations.
Okay.
Yeah, but obviously, as you stated, you're still subjected to make those changes.
Yeah, so it can, it could, we don't know. For now, it's music and conversation presented by OneOne. You would have seen, if you're watching this one, the intro video that I did on my own about what this show is about, and here it is, finally. I'll call this season 1, episode 1. I am with Nhlex The Messenger.
Yo, what up? Nhlex The Messenger here.
Yeah. Tell them how much you disrespect me. When I call you, how do you answer the phone?
Are we here about that?
Yes,
Really?
these are things that need to be aired, so everybody knows. How do you answer the phone when I call you?
Look. Yeah, sometimes I do go overboard. I agree, but you were bored, you know.
Okay.
And then you were bored, and we always talk crap all the time, you know. We always point our fingers and say ish,
Definitely,
towards each other.
definitely.
But I mean, it's all part of being, brothers in a way, if you can put it like that, you know.
Okay. So he says we're brothers, that's cool. Guys, so obviously music and conversations. I bring 5 records, he brings 5 records. He's on that side, I'm on this side. I'm on the 1200 Mark II, he's on the 1210. I gave him my favorite baby. Yeah. I dig the 1210. So obviously first track, I start the show off. Never's Records. I recently got this. And I'll tell you the title. I think this is the New Soul. They say 12th Street, Manhattan. It's an old track.
Yeah, it's been there for quite some time. It's not. Well, your vinyl looks very new.
It is.
But yeah, it's been around.
I got the repress that came out last month.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's why it looks properly new.
I think I want to cook it up because I haven't heard this in quite a while, so it's quite interesting to see a fresh and crisp one like that.
Let's hope you will get a copy.
I could grab this one. I mean, really, I mean,
this one is mine.
well, of course, but like I said, we brothers.
Okay, cool. So that's my first track, right? But first, what I'm gonna do, guys, is tell you about how I know Nhlex and how we met. He stays just down the road from where I stay. I didn't know this for a while until last year. Ne? It was last year.
Before. Was it last year?
Year before.
Year before last. Late 2018.
Ed Melusi's
Yeah.
Harmonic Soul. Shout out to my Harmonic Soul. Anyway, Nhlex. So I've told you how the show is gonna go, right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
We're always gonna play music. I got a few questions. I told you that if you do want to ask me anything you want to ask, or you want to start a conversation.
Like you said, it's a conversation.
Yeah. So that's what
music
you and I
and
have.
conversations.
All right. So let me start off by telling the people how I know Nhlex. I first heard of Nhlex, well, not Nhlex, but Deep Soul Unlimited. I was in Tsakane at a party called Friends and Cocktails. I was hanging out with a few of my friends from that side, Tinkla, the Shaolin, Harmonic Soul.
The Far Eastern crew.
Yeah, 738 nights is essentially. And with Fiso Shazy on that particular day as well, he actually picked me up. He was here to pick up a record, and I just rolled with him with Khozo Jack as. We went to the party they were playing at, and then we moved over to that Friends and Cocktails party, and Deep Soul Unlimited was playing there. I had seen the name Deep Soul Unlimited on social media a lot, and everybody raving about the podcast and the music, and I knew the names, Nhlex The Messenger and your partner, Njebe. And that was the first time I heard them play. And yeah, so they rocked it. They rocked it, and I know I posted on social media just Deep Solar Limited. That's what I said, you know, sort of saying statement.
Are you sure we rocked it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know if I was like properly drunk and that. It was the alcohol. Maybe it wasn't that rocky, but I'd been drinking from quite early on the day.
Yeah.
And then what was weird is we actually stayed in the same complex without knowing before I moved.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing your car, which I didn't know was your car, but I kept seeing the sticker Deep Solar Limited.
Yeah.
So what I assumed was it's a fan of Deep Solar Limited. Didn't think much of it until at that party. Then I saw, when I got to the Medusis party, I saw the car again. And the sticker, I'm like, I know this car from my complex. And then Medusis introduced us, and I said to him, hey, do you stay at this complex? He said, yeah, I stay there. And that's how I got to know him. And we've been hanging out, and we can say we're friends now.
Well, we are friends.
Oh,
What the hell?
okay. I don't know, I don't want to claim, but essentially that's the story of how I met Nhlex The Messenger. He can say more about himself, but he's been doing it for a while, the DJing thing. I know last year you were doing your 10 years Deep Solar Limited, as well as you released your 100th show on your podcast on Deep Solar Limited, which does crazy numbers in terms of downloads. So, Nhlex, I started the show off here with this New Rick and Soul, the Nevers track.
Yeah.
I played the Ballsy mix, I believe, right? So you know it's 5 records each.
Yes.
Before you play your first record, I told you just bring records. We're gonna talk shit. We're drinking. What did you think of in terms of your 5 records that you thought? Let me take these particular 5 records.
It wasn't easy, I must say.
Yeah.
Not that I have a lot of records.
I wonder why.
No, I'm going to explain why. I recently restarted collecting vinyl. I would say this is like my 4th year.
Having it to start again.
Yes, I had to restart because I haven't been collecting in years. So what happened is when I started playing on vinyl.
Of course.
This was back in 2001.
How old are you? Fuck.
Dude, what do you mean?
I was a child in 2009.
No, I was still a child. What do you mean, bro?
Okay.
But look, I had just matriculated, and I just got that bit of flexibility to do what I wanted by then. So I was so much into music. I mean, I've always been into music, but I never got that opportunity while I was still in school.
Yeah.
So luckily, by then I was exposed to a lot of guys that were spinning vinyl, because by that era it was only vinyl.
Only vinyl. Yeah.
There was no CDJ and stuff like that. So I linked up with a couple of guys from Tembisa. That's where I'm from originally. And
Why do you guys call it Mambisa?
well, yeah, it's AKA Mambisa.
Why? Is that a cool name?
It's kind of like a slang name. It's a township slang, you know.
Mambisa.
Yeah, it's like Soweto, Kiko Sotra, you know.
I've never heard that.
Like
So
you
I need people from Soweto to come back and confirm what you say, because I don't know.
That's old school, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, old school.
Okay.
We used to call it a Sotra.
Now I know a few people from Soweto. I'll call her to confirm.
Do what you must. Like Alex Egomora, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, Alex.
Yeah, so it's like,
It sounds real. I feel like it tells me that don't mess around.
No.
When you tell me you're from Mambisa, I don't know. Like, okay.
also, so you're not scared of Tembisa.
No, I'm not saying I'm not particularly scared of Alex,
word.
but I
The
feel
word.
like
Okay. Now I get
Gomorrah,
you.
Gomorrah is, this is
So
where it
many
really
Gomorrah.
happens. And I respect people who come from Gomorrah, because I'm from Gomorrah.
You
Now when you
are-
tell me, Nuggies of
You
Mambisa.
probably relate to Gomorrah to the stories you read on the Bible.
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah, but anyway, so
Yeah.
that's where I started in 2001. And obviously I was a newbie there. And then the guys that I linked up with taught me quite a lot. In fact, I got to collect vinyls for about 3 years, between 2001 and 2003. Started in 2001. 2003 I had to quit, bro.
Why?
That's when I had my first child. So yes, I'm that old. See, I'm exposing myself now. But anyway, it's cool. I mean, stop it. I see you calculating now.
Should we say to the young ones who want to be DJs, use protection?
Dude, is this part of your topic?
Everything, yeah, it is. Let me
no,
see part of my topic's intro, yeah. It is.
You could. Obviously, I mean, we need to promote, in terms of that. I don't want to go into that topic, bro, but I mean, we need to promote some sort of control.
Okay,
you know what I'm
cool.
saying? Yeah. But anyway.
So you quit 2003?
2003, it was literally.
You quit?
I quit playing. I quit music. I quit being a DJ by then.
Because you had to be a father. You're going to be a father.
I had to focus on being a parent, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it came with that relationship that I was in. You know? So I had to sort of like compromise and, stop everything else and just focus. And I mean, it's more responsibility in a way for a first child. I don't want to go into your side of the story, but I'm just saying.
What's my side of the story? That I don't have kids.
You said you can talk crap, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I don't want to expose you like that. I'm just saying.
I don't have kids. I don't have kids.
So you can always come back to me.
What?
I'm here. I'm your nigga.
On making kids, how to make kids?
No, not how to make kids. I'm just saying how to tackle that type of, that type of growth as a man.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's coming. It's coming.
Sure.
Relax, it's coming.
Sure.
And I know you're gonna need me at some point in time. Okay?
No.
For 1 or 2 tips.
Okay.
Anyway, so I quit and I had to obviously focus on studies and work and bringing up a child by then. And dude, the problem was I still played music in my own zone, you know what I'm saying? But by the time I quit, I used to let go of everything.
Oh, snap. Oh, okay. So quitting was like,
you know what? This isn't,
snap.
So sadly, I had a set of 1200s by then. And a Gemini 2-channel mixer.
Yeah.
And I had to literally give it away to those guys that taught me how to play.
Oh, okay.
So I said, guys, you know what? I quit. You guys take everything. I gave them I actually had 2 crates full of vinyl because I used to buy about 2 or 3 vinyls per week. And when I got paid.
Good point. Actually, the other thing we probably will talk about is, like how it was for you in particular for yourself when you compare now, because you obviously came back and things have changed. So how it was back then when you, as a collector, just being able to access records and now type of thing. But anyway, so okay, cool. I think it's a fair story. Well, a fair reason, not story, but fair reason why you got rid of everything, responsibilities, and
you want to call it a fair reason, but
fair reason. Anyway, so what's your first track?
Okay, my first track, like I said, it was a bit hard to choose. You said top 5, bro. I mean, I had to select something.
Top 5 or
5 records out of my list.
So are you saying this is your top 5?
Not really. Which is what I'm saying, it was difficult. Because even now, when I catch up, I'm like, flip. There's certain records that I could have chosen. You know what? Anyway, music is music.
You get one chance,
Especially with you.
Okay, so what do you have for us?
I've got Smooth. Destination.
Okay.
It's an EP on its own, but it's basically a 2-track EP. It's got one original and a remix on the other side. But it's just those tracks that I personally like to start a set with. It sets the mood.
Okay, fair. Setting the mood.
It sets the mood, honestly. I always pick up, because most of the time I try to start a set with, especially when I'm playing on vinyl. It was released in 1999. And by then, I was not even playing, bro. So it's that old in my books. Okay. But it's still quite relevant. I'm sure a lot of people will still relate to it.
Play it in Nhlex.
So, here we go.
Yeah, then push it up. All of it.
The wrong side.
You chose the wrong side. Of course, you're going to choose the wrong side.
Dude.
Excuse me, it's the camera, the lights, the mic.
Really? No, it's you and your alcohol.
Everything is just wrong now.
It's your alcohol.
So this is like those songs that I actually know from hearing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah, because it's one of those old school tracks that everyone can relate to. I think it was on one of the compilations, if I'm not mistaken, but it was definitely on one of the compilations. So a lot of DJs will relate to this track.
And people in general, I think.
People in general, yes. Because it's one of those banging tunes, and like I said, it sets the mood.
Okay.
Quite nicely, so.
I'm liking the mood. I hope you like it.
I hope they do.
It's OneOne music, music and conversation, guys. Please subscribe, share, like, comment, whatever. We're just gonna talk shit. Nhlex is playing his first song, Smooth Destination.
I hope you're gonna censor the last word. Censor.
No, do we have to? No kids are gonna listen to
it. Eventually, our kids are gonna listen to this. This is gonna be on the archives, bro. It's gonna be on the net. So your kids, my kids, my kids.
By the time they watch this thing, they'll be old enough to. So
how do you know? My kids listen to this music. Whenever I play music in the house, so I try to censor. I'm not gonna play anything that is uncensored.
I'll bleep the fuck or shit or what.
This guy really, really.
I'll bleep it. But I won't bleep what I just said now.
Wow.
Okay.
What's the point?
Let's jam this.
Nice whiskey.
Whatever. I'll edit it out to make it maybe 40 minutes. But I think they're always going to be long.
Yeah, because we talk a lot.
Yeah.
You talk a lot, actually.
Yeah, but I think I don't want us to feel like we're scripted in what we're doing. But then it's so fun go now.
Sounds like a free flow.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I'm attached to this track, and I don't know why. It's like I could never live it out in a vinyl set. I think the last time we were together, when I was playing vinyl for Temp. Remember? Yeah, the vinyl session. It was a record mode. I opened with this track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I always try to open with it.
So I'm gonna let the record play, Nhlex. I hope you guys can pick it up because we set in the mood in the background. So Nhlex, then I'll go into the questions. So you play the track, and then I wanna ask you to think, and I will think. Actually, I will ask you a question. So now, this particular segment, I've called it Topic of the Week.
Oh yeah.
Topic of the month, or whatever topic I feel.
Sounds like one of those DJ topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, and I'm thinking about this on the spot. And I want you to be as honest as possible. We're not trying to offend anyone. We're sharing opinions, and we're trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
Quite recently here in South Africa, and I think this will probably be something that's a trend across the globe.
Yeah.
Tracklist.
Dude, really?
Yeah, that's essentially what. Listen, it has to be a fair. There's no wrong or right way of it.
Yeah.
It's all opinions, And you'll probably find that between the two of you and I, the two of us, we got different opinions, and no one is right. It's opinions. It comes from a place of understanding things in a certain way. There was a massive debate about.
Quite recently.
Yeah, quite recently about track DJs that don't share track lists. And I'm talking about people who do podcasts. You do a podcast. DJs who do live sets, and someone comes to, and I'll tell you why, and this is not trying to be better.
Yeah.
If I've had people come to me when I play it and say, what record is that? And if I don't know what the title is, actually after the track ends, I actually give them the record, and a lot of times they'll take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it's not something that I've taken a decision to say, when I DJ, people must have music. But also, if someone comes to ask me what track is playing, my understanding is that they're feeling it. Like,
Of course.
when they DJ or not, and most of the time I don't even know, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot of people anyway. But I'll share it with you because you are feeling it. Maybe you want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to ask you your opinion. I don't want to ask you what you do in particular, whether you share or not. But I want to ask you, when a person says on a platform, I might say, screw DJs or people who don't share tracklists, what would be your response if that question or that statement was directed to you?
Well, as you said, it's personal opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, so we might agree or we might disagree on the topic itself, which I honestly believe, yeah, it actually created a lot of ruckus in the, especially in the deep house scene.
Yeah.
Look, for as long as I've been a spinner, I've always been asking for the same question. You have aspiring DJs, followers, upcoming DJs who kind of look up to you and they follow you and they download your music. I mean, like you said, I'm a podcaster. And me being the podcaster who doesn't track list on my podcast.
Oh, you don't track list?
Well,
okay.
yes, I don't. It's quite rare. To a point that sometimes I even get requests to be featured as a guest, guest mix, and then that particular podcaster wants me to specify a track list or detail a track list, and I unfortunately I can't. Like you said.
So how does that go? Have you ever had an experience where they don't publish it because you don't have it?
No.
Or they always do?
In most cases, they kind of understand my opinion. As you said,
what's your opinion?
It's a personal choice. There's nothing political about it. It's just a personal opinion. And if you might ask, to some certain extent, recently I get a lot of requests. People would download a mixtape and then they want a particular track. I do give it out sometimes.
Okay.
But it all depends. I don't know what it depends on though. But look, you said we're talking crap.
Yeah. No, we're not talking crap. We're not talking crap. We're talking. That's what we do. We're talking.
You change your statement.
No, we're talking. Crap is part of talking because that's what we do most of the time.
Yeah.
But we're talking. Yeah.
So personally, when I post my mixes on my website or podcast, I do not track list.
Question is, if I requested a song, would you
Yes.
give me the title?
So if you request a song, I do provide you the title and the artist.
Do you think?
But I need to state though.
Yeah.
When I do a recording, or you see, if you catch me playing live, you might be lucky. Then I can refer to the title and the artist of the song right there instantly. But if I'm playing a mixtape, it's a recording, I need to go back because I'm quite random when I record a mixtape. I don't do a track list that I prepare. I just put my members list. So I dump music in and I just
similar
scroll through.
approach with me.
Yeah. So I am quite random. I don't plan that track A. I mean, the first track is going to be this artist and this title and this label. So I would just be random, but I know how I flow. So I mean, it's difficult for me to then go back to a mixtape and go to the 22nd minute and look for that particular track because I need to go back to that memory stick only to find that the memory stick is already wiped out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying because even when I do a record for our podcast,
Yeah.
I don't keep the track list, right? Unless I can remember. So there's some songs if someone was to ask, and it happened quite recently because I published OneOne Music 16 now.
Yeah.
And someone messaged me and said, sure, the track at 42 minutes.
Yeah.
So I went to that particular space.
It's even worse.
Yeah, I'm
when you
like,
find
flip, what record is this now?
Yeah.
And now I'm driving, and by the time I'm getting this, I'm in the car listening to the mixtape as well. Like, then I'm like, sure, I have to check it for you when I get home. Then I have to go into my records
But you see,
and look for.
with you, it's even worse because you are trying to promote new records. So most of your tracks on your mixtapes, it's the most recent stuff that you
Yeah.
because it's just publishing because of your list. So it's even harder for you. Imagine us digitally. It shouldn't be as hard as you, but still, I mean,
Yeah, it shouldn't be that. I was about to say that.
but then that's the thing. I buy a lot of music, bro. I mean, I think I even told you at some point that I cannot. It's in me now. Okay, my lady doesn't even know about this, but I actually
Maybe
buy,
you don't want to say it.
I've already said it anyway. It's not gonna get me in trouble. I'm just saying. But I've told you this before. I buy a lot of music. I've got to a state where I buy music every week.
Oh, okay.
Just for the fun of it. I mean, you know how addictive this thing is. So I end up buying a lot of music, and some of it I don't even play. You know.
Okay.
And by the time I play it, it's old archives already.
Oh, okay.
And to go back and to try and trace and track and all of that, it's a mission. It's a mission.
So, those of you who have asked Nhlex, the messenger.
Don't be sarcastic about this.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. For a track ID, valid reason is what he just said. There's a lot of music coming in. Don't necessarily pay attention to what he plays when he's recording a mixtape. So you're most likely to know what track he's playing. If he's playing live, that's a gig. Because then we can tell you.
Yes,
Yeah.
then I can refer.
Yeah, see, this is the song.
Right there,
But in the mixtape
yeah.
is that, and that I take. Like that I really
What
take.
don't you take? If I ask you, what don't you take?
What I don't take is when you just absolutely flat out say no.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning you're inferring that I know what it is, but I won't tell you.
That's true, yeah.
So then for me, then it goes into a longer discussion which we could
Yes.
have, but I don't want us to go
course,
there
no,
because
it's
you
not
just
okay.
shared your opinion about why it's difficult for you to track list sometimes. It's that. So my only issue is there. And listen, my point of view and where I come from,
Yeah.
I sell records. Can you imagine someone sells records who doesn't want to tell people
No,
about
it
music?
that doesn't make sense.
It would never make any sense.
No, in your case, you'll be defeating the whole purpose.
And let me tell you, the biggest challenge with selling records is that when I go play or we just chill and listen to records, and I play a record, and you'll be labeled, oh, the nice stuff you keep for yourself. That
I've said
you've
this
said that to me. You've said it to me, and I always say that I also collect. I mean, I literally almost daily have to sit on the net.
You actually-
looking for music.
You are with this topic. You actually pissing me off a little bit.
No, wait, don't be pissed off.
No.
What do you mean? Let's leave the personal stuff aside. Let's
Also, what's
our
personal?
issues. No, our issues of
It's cool.
camera.
That's cool.
Okay, cool.
Off the record.
Fair point. So you played Smooth There, Destination,
Mm,
nice tune. You set the mood for us. Nhlex The Messenger.
Oh, yeah.
Your followers will love that. So I'm gonna play the second track for you guys. It has to be one of my favorite records, and quite recently acquired.
Yeah.
It came out last year, I believe, and I didn't really give it attention. I don't know why. I don't know a special reason that will make me look or sound like I'm an important person. Why? I didn't check this because I knew about this release, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the artist Hannah, which anyone who loves deep house will always almost want to, especially if you come from, if you're influenced from the old school.
Yes.
If you're influenced from the old school, Hannah is one of those that you check out definitely if they bring out something new.
Timeless.
But there was this feeling of everyone's gonna jump on it anyway.
Or when you heard it the first time.
I didn't even listen to it. I just saw that Hannah.
Oh,
released. And
okay,
There's
the
quite a
artist,
lot of releases. Yeah,
yes.
there's quite a lot of releases when this one came out.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I listened to it. And there's a particular song, but the whole EP for me, and I don't care where I put the needle right now, actually. This whole
Anyway,
EP
you
for
drop
me.
it.
So yeah, it's the Hannah that came out on People of Earth. I'll tell you the title. So from the Dark Sky EP. So there's 4 tracks on this. It's a 4-track EP.
Yeah.
Fading Into Last Forever. Fading Into was not a song that I thought I'd like. I actually love that Eloquent in Passion. That's the song that made me buy this. And then when they were, of course, come on. And then when this record landed, and when it landed, it was the weekend we were chilling here, you and I, on a Friday. Then Tsepo Somuru came on.
Yes,
came
last
on,
year.
Yeah, no, this year.
Okay.
No, it was this year, Eddie. No,
It was in Jan.
Jan, when
it's in the
Friday I was
holidays,
with you,
yes.
yeah. Friday I was
in the
with you,
holidays.
and then Tepo came on the
Yes,
Saturday.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just before we go back to.
Yeah. And I just put it on, and when
Wait, was this on the list?
no, it was never on the
Because it's quite old.
We actually never distributed this.
Okay.
We had a couple of pre-orders of this. Now I'm trying to figure out, this would be A, right? This would be A, I think. Let's see. So I'm gonna play anything. I don't care what it is.
You trust it that much?
Yes, I do. I do. I hope the speed is right. So this is why I bought this record.
Sure.
No, this is the one I discovered to be my favorite actually, not the one that I bought.
No, I remember. I
remember this song?
I remember this. I
I
remember.
gotta play like 5 times.
Yeah, I remember. You always went wow when you drop it. I remember this.
There's that hi-hat.
Yeah. I remember this one. So I think honestly you can't go wrong with Hannah.
No, you can never go
I've
wrong.
never heard a track that doesn't give me that attention from her. So
Top stuff. And you are looking for the new Hana.
yeah.
But we won't say it.
Really? Where are you gonna get that?
Wow. Yeah, not the tracks. Me, son.
I think it was not available. That's how I was checking.
Has to be now.
I'll check. Yeah, check.
But yeah. I want this.
Yeah, I see some mention. I want some. While we're on this, it's quite recent, right? It's not old.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, you said I can ask you as well. So, a lot of cats are coming back into records. I'm one of them. I've only just started recollecting again. Yeah, this is my 4th year. In the most of my DJ career, I was digital, because I had to quit and all of that. By the time I came back into DJing, the vinyl era had faded a bit, so everyone is moving into digital because of easy access of music and affordability and all of that. And those cats who were collecting old school back then would shout their old school records or records and classics. I've got a couple that I've had to, get from here and there. It's not easy to find classics anymore. What's your take on that? Because I've been to a couple of vinyl sessions recently, because vinyl is popping now. So obviously we support and we go, but you get there, but most cats are still playing old school, And I kind of don't understand, because you don't really need to go back. Yes, there's no problem in going back, but you can still connect, because there's still a lot of music now, even better, way better than back then. There's more music on vinyl now than back then. If I was saying, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
Definitely.
But most
But
of the
I'll
cats,
say now, I was not really collecting back then. I think there's always been music, and there was just access to the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now there's
I'm saying now there's more
Access
there's
to
more
it.
access
There's
to
more access
to
to
music on vinyl than back then.
yeah.
Besides the fact that back then we only played vinyl, there was no digital.
Yeah.
So, but it was quite limited.
So now, so it's easy for almost anyone who wants to buy a record to be able to buy it without asking anyone.
Without asking anyone.
Yeah.
And back then we used to buy music at record stores. Like you had to physically go there. It was quite hard to order. Now everything with the internet, you can just go in and place your pre-order and receive and all of that. But now it's much more easier. Like we're saying, there's more access. It's easier to actually access music on vinyl. But as I was saying, most of the cats are still stuck onto old school collections. You know what I'm saying?
So my thoughts on cats who literally sort of shelved their music way back then.
Yeah.
And now that this is back to say, they're bringing that out. So subjectively, and that's how I'll always be judged, because I sell records. And my answer will be judged on the fact that I sell records.
Yeah.
But let's let me give a personal opinion. As a consumer of music and someone who wants to go out to go have fun,
Yes.
and wishes to listen to, you know,
Something new, something different. that's
you know, I have,
point.
yeah. So then what happens is, and I've said this, and I'm not the most vocal person in terms of music,
Same here.
right?
Same here.
Because it's subjective, it's opinions.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But they are chance takers, and there's nothing wrong with realizing, oh snap, there's the vinyl is back, and I had thought it's gone. To pull your stuff out, because come on, there will have to be some good music that can be played that many of us won't know that it's even old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can bring that stuff out. That I then start to, I'll use the word judge you as to whether you are really into this thing. If you say only the old stuff is better than what's coming on, because come on.
Oh, so if you do a comparison.
Yeah, so what I'll do then is then say, you went to get your stuff out. You play music a lot. Maybe some of the stuff that you play is old, and I don't know. And I'm sure there's a lot of old music I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you are the guy who literally realizes, shit, vinyl is back, and you love vinyl because it's nostalgic, you know, it takes you back to an era, and you feel like, oh man, what a time that it was to be alive. And you want to make us relive that time, then you're not progressing. And if you're a DJ, then what are you trying to achieve? Because it moves. It moves.
Yeah.
And the only way for me is, even dog, like, let's make the most obvious and example would be Vini. Right.
Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna has to have a crazy collection.
He is an avid collector.
Right. But to this day, I tell you, and shout out to Vini Man and Otto. I was at Fine Ice. I left him behind yesterday.
This nigga. Yeah.
Not on purpose.
That's alright. It's cool.
But
I'm leaving you behind on Sunday. Alright.
it's fine. Vini, I will say, and a lot of people who also sell records, they will know that he still collects new stuff. So then I ask myself, if he can do that, why would you want to just keep bringing us the old stuff that you bought back then, and we in the space? So that is my opinion of it. So I'm gonna take you to your track now, right? And let me see. So that was our essentially first question, right? Topic of the week. Topic of the week was track lists. He asked the question about what are my thoughts on people who DJs, selectors, and vinyl collectors who are riding the wave, which we all are, of vinyl being back. It's music after all, so no one can own it. What do I think of that? I've shared that, and therefore he will jam. I played Hana for you guys. I don't think you heard it, but a bit of it you'll hear. I'll put the titles. I should put the titles of each track we play as it plays for you to. If you want to look for it, remember iSound Records. Social media, it's OneOne Vinyl. That's OneOneVinyl on all social media platforms. Records at OneOneVinyl.com if you want to chat to us or want to place an order. If you don't know me, I'm Leputla Tamahani. I don't even think I said my name. I'm assuming I'm famous. Everyone knows me.
AKA our drug lord. This is a drug. Yeah, so he's our supplier. Yeah.
Well, I'm a vinyl drug lord. But if anything, thanks.
Yeah, man.
What do you have now for us?
Okay, my second track. It's also something the people out there would relate to.
Can I ask, did you bring house only?
Yeah.
Because you're a house DJ.
Okay. I actually think I once told you that I want to venture, because recently I've stepped into alternative music aside of house.
With your podcast, right?
Yeah, on my podcast, but that's digital for now. I mean, this ish is expensive, I'm afraid to. So
I know that it's not expensive, guys. It's
No.
not expensive. They're just complaining because they can complain. These things are cheap. They go for like $200 for good songs.
For some of us, that's expensive. My point is, I want to venture. I told you this. I want to venture into alternative music, lounge, which I'm going to start quite soon on vinyl. I'm already playing on digital through my podcast. So lounge, chill hop, trip hop, a bit of old school hip hop, and all of that. So for now, my vinyl collection is just house. For now. So obviously, in the near future, I'll be venturing into more. Okay, so this next vinyl is from Large Records. It was
Large. Okay.
yes.
Large is has to be one of the most prominent
Yes.
labels from back in the day.
It's
house.
been for even now. It's still quite relevant even now. I mean,
If I can't remember us copying anything from Large quite recent. I follow Large.
you know what you should do, because I do my own separate list when I order. Check my list. There's a couple of Large records that
cool.
the recent ones, by the way, that I've put on my list.
Okay. Jamie, let's hear. What are you playing?
It's a remix of Mr. V. It's a Mr. V remix of Hello and Atwater Change. It's a vocal, by the way. So a lot of people, like I said, they will relate to it. What does you have? Didn't. I just stopped it. You can feel it up.
Oh yeah. Change for now. Okay, so Nhlex just dropped Halo and Add Water Change. I love this song actually. Didn't know it's it's featured in Mr. V, Change for Love. You know, I first heard it on there's this compilations but it's After Dark. I don't know if you know them. It was the After Dark, yeah, Jask.
Oh yeah, I know DJ Just.
Yeah, first track on his After Dark. I had the Harley, the Muscle. I enjoyed one of those. Who did enjoy? Yeah, I think there was who else was on After Dark? Quite a few of those compilations. So Nhlex, the next part of our lovely discussion. I didn't really feel. I keep lifting this up. Do you think we could get sponsorships for alcohol on this?
Well, the more you advertise, the more likely you can get.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is like building a profile. So
thank you, Nhlex. So you played your song. That's your second track, no?
That was my second track.
That was your second track. I played 2 tracks as well. So this should be a cool question to you. I should place as well. So what I want to know, do you have a funny story about a time you went out at group? Something weird or funny or stupid you noted or happened when you went out? Could be funny, could be weird, it could be like, what the fuck is going on? Or it could have been like, this is the craziest party. And I don't want to limit you by saying, what's the craziest party or the most fun party you went to? I'm sure you would have had a lot. I mean, you've been at it since back in 2000s.
Quite a lot. Yeah, it's true.
But what in that aspect, in that sort of scenario, what would be a story you want to share about a party you once went to?
It was roughly about 2012, 13. So we had this crazy party. We got a booking.
Where?
Myself and my ex-partner. So we haven't specified the story about this, but
no, we won't go into that story.
It's cool. So my Deep Soul Unlimited partner, Njewe, a brother that I highly respect.
Njebe is cool, man. Tempo called me and said, hey, man, I was listening to Njebe was playing on Massive Metro.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, I kind of like, when he started playing the first 30 minutes, I picked up why you were telling me that him and Nhlex, the back-to-backs were crazy.
Yeah.
From what Njebe was playing on Massive Metro. He said, I said, okay, no, good sense, because we've hanged out with Tepo Nalwe and I.
True.
Tepo is my close friend, Somuru. That's a lot of you will know him as Somuru. So he said, no, man, this is how I I realized why you were saying Deep Soul Unlimited is so good. Those two guys, the sound they had there. So
Yeah.
shout out to Nhlex, man.
Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to my nigga Bruno for
Bruno
hooking me
Soul.
up with this. After I lost it for so many years, but I couldn't find a copy. But shout out to Bruno. Thank you so much, my brother, for linking me up.
Let me tell you, Bruno knows a record I went at your Deep Soul Unlimited party.
Oh yeah,
There's a Kevin Yost he dropped. Bruno,
Yes.
Bruno,
yes, I know that record.
Bruno. You know, we are brothers, man. I know you pay me for the records I give you, but that Kevin Yost, man, that Kevin Yost.
Yeah.
So, 2013, 2012?
Yeah, it was around there. I can't point to it here, but it was around there if I think. But we got a booking somewhere it was in Standerton, in Mpumalanga. I think it was the first time we were playing in Mpumalanga together as a duo. Massive party, man. Massive, great party. The reception was great and all. We got to a place. It was more like a house, like you know, like a big guys. It's a 4-room.
How many rooms?
I don't know, but what those guys did is I know the story. They bought it was a big lata, but they basically broke all the walls to make it an open plan.
Oh, okay.
The whole house is like an open plan, but then it's like you had corridors. You would walk. There's a VIP section. So this would be a VIP section where you walk. There's like the main dance floor, but then you walk to the garage. The garage itself is like the main floor.
Oh.
And then each and every side like had a monitor, and then people were chilling, and then some were dancing. So it would depend what mood you're in. So it was a very nice party and all. So we were jamming there, back to back, very nice, packed, bro. And it was one of those coldest nights. There was even mist outside, because I remember when we were driving there, it was very misty. So we were jamming and jamming, packed. People were responsive. And I remember I played this Jimster track. Yeah. You were just the kind of girl.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see that.
So I dropped that track. I think it's about 6 minutes. It's a 6-minute track. Literally, not even a minute, because of the bass line on the track. And when it came back with the main beat, it literally shut down the electricity. So it shut down the main switch, bro. That's how massive the track
Who
is.
was the electrician at that house?
I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know.
We need to find that cat.
I
He didn't do a good job.
I guess. I mean, there's logistics that are done prior to a gig. There's testing of sound and all of that. You know,
Yeah.
I would have expected something like that.
But I'll tell you one thing, and I mean, sound engineers, people who do sound setup,
Yeah,
I think you gotta be specialized to be able to judge a sound when you're testing it. When there are no people.
yeah.
Because once we are in there and it's packed and we're
It's
talking,
different,
and
because
you
might
gotta have
to-
set it up for them.
Yes,
You have to say
yes.
once people are in here, and that's
You're
why a
right.
lot of our gigs suffer.
You're right. You probably they might have set it up before there was a crowd,
And they felt it's okay.
not thinking that okay, what's going to happen when the place
Yeah,
is
like
full?
when the DJ gets there, it's gonna. Because as a DJ, you also get in there. You have to do your
own
so
settings,
you're
yes.
balancing it out to say, okay, I need people to hear.
But most of the time, the sound engineers would just tell you, okay, you need to bounce at that particular level because they are monitoring it on a crossover or something like that.
true.
But anyway, so it literally shut down electricity, bro. And then the crowd went mad. They went crazy.
I can
They went
imagine.
crazy, bro. Like, yo, bring
Yeah,
that
the
track
bass
back.
line on that song.
Baseline is killer.
Yeah.
So I had to bring it back. Cool. So they switched it back on. And then they were demanding, bring it back. So I put the song back. Literally again, another minute. When that bass kicked in, it shut it down again.
So it was,
So I was
yeah,
like, no,
it was
no.
the bass.
It was the bass. It was the bass. So literally, what I did is, when I brought it back the third time, because they demanded the track, I had to play it like this. So I had to play it at this level.
Oh.
So I lowered the bass.
Problem
You know?
solved and Nhlex The Messenger.
But I had to because they were demanding it, bro. I had no choice. So yeah, look, that's one of the craziest moments
You know what?
of experience.
Yeah, cool. Now, the one thing that I find interesting
Yeah.
and reaction to when you get booked at a place you don't know in an area you've never been to.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me if you can remember where you went, you drove there, flew there, whatever, and because when you get booked for a gig, you imagine what it's going to be like. I'm gonna play this
'cause
song.
especially
The
if you
crowd,
know.
the crowd is going to be like this, right?
You paint a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the most? Ah man, let me not say the most disappointing. But what is the one you were like, what the fuck? Where the fuck are we here? Okay, don't say the name, but you do experience that.
Well, it happens, man.
When you get to a venue, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you why I say this, because a boy of mine called me this week. We were just talking. He's a customer, and I'll say a boy is a friend as well. 'Cause most of my customers are really my friends. Yeah. Anyone who buys from me, yeah. Well, I guess what can I say? He says, the event was organized, everything was organized.
Yeah.
And they drove there, and then they get to the venue. They're like, what the fuck is going on? This is a fucking tavern. So there's always that. I mean, I don't gig a lot.
Yeah.
I don't gig a lot, but I think I've been fortunate enough to. It could really be one area. I think one gig for me, where I was like, oh, okay, this is it.
I'll tell you a story. Now, this is something that
Don't
we
mention names so
Yes.
we don't badmouth parties. But you can just describe the area, like what you saw.
No, look, it's not a secret. It's not a secret.
Hey.
I'm gonna say it as it is.
No.
No,
But don't say the name.
I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah.
Okay. People will pick up what I'm talking about because it's a reality.
Yeah.
Because this was not our response or my response per se. It was a response from the people. So we got the resiliency. As Dipson Unlimited.
Okay, now you just gave it away.
It's fine. It's not a secret, as I'm saying. It's not a secret. And I'm sure even the owner's not going to get mad because he knew about it. So when he enticed us to come and play at this joint, we didn't know the joint. And it literally was in our hood in Tembisa. And we were quite skeptical because we didn't know about it. If you get told about a place in your hood, and you're like, what joint is that? And you don't know about it. Yeah, in your own hood, and you know all the joints in your hood. So cool, sharp. We gave it a chance. And when we got there, we got the very same exclamation that you gave me. Oh, flip. This looks like a tavern. It was a tavern previously. It used to be a tavern. It used to be those places where our parents used to groove, bro.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
There's history in that.
Yes, exactly. It's like they call it the inn. They used to call the tavern the inn. I-double-N. So it was Leputla's inn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That type of a setup. So we were like, no man, come on. There was even a board. Blah 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 inn. I know a lot of people will pick up what I'm talking about. So we were like, no man, come on, bruh. Me and my
what the fuck? Can we really be in this space?
Look, he was more hysterical about it. Like, no ways, no ways. No, we can't be moving from this place. And no ways. He's that type of person. I was like, no, but you know what? Let's give it a try. You never know what might happen. And you know what happened? It blossomed, bro. It bloomed.
Wow.
It became the craziest joint in the hood that it even shut down a lot of prominent joints in the hood.
That's because of the music.
It was purely because of the music. So what that tells you is, it doesn't really matter when you play. You know what I'm saying? You could literally set up a sound system in the streets. As long as you can attract that market and clientele, that's all that matters. Because if you have the right type of people to support you, it doesn't really matter when you play.
Yeah, true.
So it became history in a way.
And also places sell entertainment.
Yeah.
It's got nothing. It depends how they want to package it, but essentially whoever walks in the space needs to have fun.
True.
That's what they sell.
Look, at first people were very skeptical. They're like, guys, why are you moving us to such a joint? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
So your following might be a challenge for
yes,
you.
because remember, at the end of the day, as DJs, it's not only it's not about what we play and what our music is all about. Yes, we love what we play and we stick to what we play, but at the end of the day, we're not doing it for us only. We're doing it for the followers as well, especially when you do sessions. When you hold sessions, you rely on the support of the followers. So when they complain, you need to be alert. They raise a huge alarm about it. But eventually, honestly, they got used to the place. And they couldn't let go of it up until we literally left the place or lost the venue. Well, that's another politics for another day.
Sorry. I don't have a lot of crazy stories, man. But I've had those experiences.
Yeah.
The coolest one for me was cool. I don't know if it was cool, but I was playing not Rust, in Northwest Brett's,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing quite early. And even the person who booked me said to me, I want you to come in early so you can set the mood. But there were other DJs who were played before me. So when I walked in, like, hey Joe, it was 6:30. My set was starting at 7 to 9. So I was playing 2 hours. And I'm playing on records. So it was a party at 2 dance floors. There's a digital dance floor and a vinyl dance floor.
Similar to what's happening this coming Sunday in House 22. There's going to be. Well, it's actually 2 separate sessions.
Oh, the thing is here though, right? We have to say that actually, Vinyl Lifestyle is hosting Jesus Gonçalves from Spain, Trouble Kids.
Yeah.
Nhlex is playing there. I know they are massive Metro today, and they're at the Vinyl Lifestyle store today. Kitchener's, I think, tomorrow, and then Sunday is House
22, yeah.
House 22. So I'm not gonna say check it out because you wanna see this after that's done. But that's happening, and I think it's cool to see all these international acts come in. It says a lot about our space.
Yeah.
But my story was that I got to this venue and my idea was I'm gonna set the mood, and which is really my vibe. I like to play a bit early because of music I collect. I
don't mind as well.
I'm not a prime time guy. Actually, when you book me to play like that 2-1 in the morning, I think before yesterday's booking at Vinny's party. The past 3 bookings I had were all prime, like literally 12, 11, 1. Cape Town was 1. 1 in the morning.
I remember the story.
That's
and it
a
ended up
challenge.
in the wee hours.
Yeah, that's a challenge I embrace. But if anything, I mean, and I'm not saying people who are listening and maybe you want to book me now, you gotta say nah. Let me put it in there. It's fine. I accept the challenge, whatever. A DJ is a DJ. But I literally got there and it was quite early, like 6:30.
That's in Brett's, you say?
Brett's, right? And that manager unazala malumbu diwa on the final floor. Diwa. I'm playing after him. 6:30 in the evening.
Packed.
Diwa. I can't. I'm like, yo.
That must have been a vibe, bro.
I know, but I'm thinking I was briefed to say you're going to set the mood.
Set the mood, and the mood is already set.
Manambo.
Well,
I'm like, no.
Interesting. Actually, I was listening to Khan today. It was celebrating 25 years of Kalawa. So Malombo was one of the...
I mean, Kalawa, man, Malombo is songs we know. You rock.
I was singing along.
No, it happens. But I mean, so these are the things you encounter.
Yeah.
Actually, believe video Christos. Why is your phone not on silent?
Sorry, that's probably a mistake. Sorry.
Christos on the, he does those videos, and shout out to Christos, man. I think if anything, and I said this in my old previous video, the intro, that if anything encouraged me to do this YouTube, it's because of Christos, because I would always thought I need to get the proper equipment. So my ideal situation is you'll have a mic, I'll have a mic, proper sound quality. And then Kibone Christos, the way he's doing it, man, like I don't know how he's doing it, but it's not the best. He's pushing it. He's doing videos, and he had another Black Coffee.
I saw it,
And Black Coffee was talking about the necessity or the importance of promoters, and he was saying, when you're made a headliner, the pressure you're in, because people who are not promoters don't understand curating a night.
True.
Meaning, I'm gonna have this guy, this is how he plays.
The execution.
I'm gonna have this guy, this is how he plays. And this is how the night is going to build up. To the point, if you're the headliner, by the time Nhlex come in, this thing is warm, it's going on, and then
you spill the
and then you as the headliner, you're able to deliver on that, type of thing.
Yeah.